What's going on, guys? Just a quick few words of some of my advice growing up with Pectus Excavatum, and that is how to turn Pectus Excavatum into your superpower. It starts off with first realizing that the problem isn't our deformed chest. It's how we look at the problem. It's how we look at our chest that is the problem. We look at it as a bad thing. We look and think of the thoughts of others, of what they would perceive us to be because we have this abnormal looking chest. But that begins right up here. We can easily change this up here, change our thoughts, change the way how we feel about things, and then we'll start realizing more about us, more of the good that we have inside. So for example, your chest is either half empty or half full. Your chest, it's fucked up, it's dented, it's abnormal. But what about the rest of your body? Why focus so much on something that's 1% or maybe 5% of your body to control the other 95% by distracting you from the 95%, giving you a hard time in life? Now, here's one things that got me not going for surgery. And that was when I was actually looking into getting surgery for my chest. I realized, holy cow, if I fix my chest, then I'm gonna wanna fix my nose. You see this nose? Look at that thing. It's got a nice bump in it, you know? Then I'm gonna wanna fix my collarbones. My collarbones pop out. That was another thing that I was self-conscious about. What I realized was when I was young is that it started off here, but it slowly matured into being self-conscious, overly self-conscious about many other parts of my body, even my toes. I've got hammer toe. Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed to even say that and mention that, but screw it. If I'm gonna call this channel Abnormal Nation, I better be fucking proud of everything that looks outside of the norm. And so when I realized, like, fuck, if I run away from this, if I cover this up, and I'm not saying those that get surgery run away from it, no, but this was my mentality when I was 17. I wanted to run away. I hated it. It was depressing. I never enjoyed a summer. And so I wanted to fix it so that I could have a normal life. So when I realized that wasn't the answer, because I would want surgery on everything else to be perfect, I said no to the surgery. I realized I would have to learn how to accept myself, and then I would eventually come to this obstacle and my collarbone obstacle and every other part of my body that I don't like obstacle, and I'd have to face that eventually. And so I realized if I can just accept this, it would be that much easier to accept everything else. And when I did that, that's when I started to look on the inside. I started to look at the positives that I had to offer, at the good, and it changed my life. I started being happier. I started having more fun. I started swimming. I started going to the beach, to the pool. I started enjoying my summers with my kids, which is the main reason why I needed to accept my chest. I had kids, right? And I realized, what if they grew up to have it? First thing I realized was, dude, I'm not gonna live my life. I'm not gonna have a family and have kids and not enjoy summers with my kids. That would be absolutely insane to give up and to quit, or to not have a typical amazing summer with my kids, swimming in the pool, playing in the pool, going to the beach. And so that was number one. Number two reason was, what if they had it? Then I knew what I went through as a kid, as a young man growing up with Pectus Excavatum, and I wouldn't want to wish that on my worst enemy. And so I wouldn't want that for my kids, to be down and depressed about it. And so I knew if I would have went for surgery and never accepted it, I wouldn't be able to help them to conquer the self-conscious fear like I have recently. And so now that I've conquered it, and now that I haven't conquered it fully, but now that I've accepted it and I live a way healthier life because of it, now they see me, they're watching me subconsciously, they're watching me that I'm cool with it, right? And so there's hope that one day in their mind it'll already be developed that it's okay and that you can live a great life with Pectus Excavatum. So those were the two reasons why I needed to conquer my fear that had to do with my kids. But yeah, so look at your chest as halfway full. Look at the majority of you. What are the good things that you have to offer? Stop focusing on the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 bad things. What about the 10, 15, 20, 30 great things that you have to offer? Or just even the one thing. That one thing is enough. There is at least one thing that you can do better than anyone else in the world. And I can promise you, doing that will be greater than anything else. So stop focusing on the 5%, on your chest being half empty. Start focusing on the 95%. Then you can start using the pain, the psychological and emotional pain that a lot of us go through with Pectus Excavatum as fuel. You can use it as fuel. Then it becomes a good thing because of the person that it made you become. Right? If you get over it, if you're willing to accept it, if you're willing to live with it ferociously, proudly, pridefully, doesn't that make you stronger? To be able to put a smile on your face and to go have a great time at the beach, conquer life, reach your goals, follow your dreams, and not let this stop you. Doesn't that make you stronger? Doesn't that make your legacy that much more exciting? Which, by the way, when you do that one thing that I was mentioning, that one thing that you're better at than anyone else, when you live that, you're gonna stand out anyway. And I think that's how Pectus Excavatum can be your superpower. Because when you realize that we were born to stand out, to be the greatest we can possibly be, to be anything but normal, then you'll know that to be abnormal is to be great. Now, you heard of the belly flop, right? Well, this is the Pectus flop.